You trust his mom right there? Yeah. You can back all that facts up now, right? Do you want to rebuttal right now? Hi guys, are you guys ready for the next comic? Yeah! Now, this next comedian, this is her first time performing ever. That takes a lot of guts, and we're really glad to have her here tonight. So please, put your hands together, make her feel welcome, give her a nice loose welcome to Steph, Bramson.
Okay, thanks Kevin for adding me as a comedy virgin. So please, if you please be gentle, because it's really gonna hurt. Okay. All right, so yeah, I work here at Sleuths, that's why they let me up here. I do tech, which, for anyone who doesn't know what that means, basically it means that it's my job to make sure things work, and that if they don't, to fix them. Which, because I'm a really, really shitty tech, what that generally means is make sure things work. If they don't, try to fix them, fail, try again, break it a little bit worse, call James, the head tech, in tears, in a panic, and be like, oh my God, help me, this thing is broken, and he'll fix it in about 5 seconds. Speaking of, James is here. Can you just like raise your hand for a sec? Hey James. Hi James.
Hey James.
Yeah, I actually asked him to come here. I paid him to come here and pretend to laugh, so it sounded like it was funny. So do you mind just doing that really quick? Yeah, close enough. You're getting 5 instead of 10, sorry. But anyway,
okay, she's Jewish.
I'm not good at quick comebacks yet. Anyway, working on it. Yeah, so on that note, yeah, part of it is just that I really suck at tech. I just don't know what I'm doing. But another part, yeah, I'm saying this right in front of multiple bosses right now. But a lot of it is also just that I'm a klutz. If something exists that can be tripped over, I will trip over it. If something doesn't exist that can be tripped over, I'll still trip over it. I will bump into chairs. I will bump into curtains. I have knocked down curtains multiple times. I will bump into people in chairs. God, I'm so sorry for Sleuth's insurance being so high because of the number of guests I keep bumping into and breaking stuff on their heads and stuff. Yeah, I'm just that good. Like, they considered putting candles in this room once, but then when I started working here, they looked at these tablecloths right here, and were like, okay, no. We can't put candles on them because she will be setting up one day, knock over one of the candles, the tablecloth will go into flames, it'll hit everywhere else, next day they'll find my charred corpse, and at my funeral they'll say, she crashed and burnt. So, funny story, this is actually my 3rd shirt today. Yeah, I spilled coffee. Twice. Second time was an empty cup. Just that good. Okay, so one thing that I do when I bump into stuff, I bump into, furniture, that type of stuff, which I get, everyone does. The problem is that most people do it in the middle of the night when they've just woken up, drunk. I do it in the middle of the day, fully awake, sober. So the other day, I was coming home and I bumped into something like, oh, sorry, and then I realized it's like 4 feet tall to my dresser. But at that point, I was like, I may as well commit. So I'm like, hi, dresser, I'm sorry, how you doing? And my dresser was like, oh, not so good, to be honest. I'm like, wait, hold up. My dresser can talk? Like, honestly, I don't know what surprised me more, the fact that my dresser could talk or the fact that my IKEA dresser spoke English and not broken Swedish. Yeah, so I went over to like, oh, hey, dresser buddy, how you doing? Why are you not doing so well? And said, well, I'm feeling kind of empty. I said, well, what are you talking about? I said, well, look at your floor, you idiot. Yeah, my fucking dresser called me an idiot. So I look at my floor, naturally my entire wardrobe is all on it. I'm like, okay, yeah, that. And he's like, yeah, I used to talk to that floor. Now I can't even hear her. She can't even hear me. She's completely suffocated. I'm like, wait, my floor's a woman? He's like, yeah, of course your floor's a woman. It's got carpet on it and people walk all over her. So, I said the exact same thing to my dresser. I was like, you sexist pig with a dresser. And he's like, well, what would you know about being a woman? When was the last time you did laundry? How do you know any of this is clean? And I was like, well, you know what? Fuck you, dresser. If I'm standing on it right now, it's dirty. If I'm not standing on it, to be fair, it's probably still dirty. it said, well, you know what? Go talk to your laundry machine. It's feeling lonely and empty too. And I'm like, you know what, dresser? Go fuck yourself. You think you're so high and mighty? You're an IKEA dresser. You're not even real wood. You're particle board painted to look like mahogany. You know, I should have gotten the mound. If I'd gotten the mound, at least it would be as cheap as you look. Or vice versa. It said, you know what? I should have built you upside down like those mute stick figures told me to. Well, one thing led to another. My dresser and I got into it. I got a little axe crazy, literally. And so I'm in the market for a new dresser. And of course, now that I know that dressers talk, I'm like, I can't just get any dresser. I have to make sure we've got chemistry. So I'm like, you know, I'm going to go on OkCupid and find a dresser. But the problem is, they don't let dressers use OkCupid because they don't have opposable thumbs. At least that's what the OkCupid help people told me. So I was like, you know what, no, that's just not fair. So I'm going to build my own dating site for furniture. I called it OK Carpenter. That thing was great. I had to shut it down eventually, though, because people kept getting catfished. Thank you, preacher, for telling everyone what that means, so I don't have to. Where, like, people would call in trying to get a bed frame, and they'd wind up with a desk lamp, which, you know, really shed some light on what was wrong with this thing. But you know what, though? It's okay. It worked out because in the end, I did find a dresser there. However, the person who sent it to me was not an OK carpenter, so it came to me in pieces, you know, all broken. I'm like, you know what? That's okay. I know you're broken, but you know what? We'll rebuild you. We can hammer out the details as we go. And then I'm like, you know, I really thought I nailed that shit. But unfortunately, like every rebound, after a few good screws, or really not a few good screws, a few terrible screws, I bumped into it again, and like every rebound, that shit just fell apart. Thank you.
Steph, Bramson, everybody!